Okay, week 2, sociology, Miss Simpson. Here we are. So, we're talking about social inequality, and I figured a good way to discuss it was with some previous experiences I've had. So, I wanted to look at the different demographics that we look at, particularly in American culture. So, we have race, gender, social class, religion, and orientation. And we have the term intersectionality. When we talk about this, we're talking about people's demographics intersecting, which is where the term comes from. I am considered to be an African American female. You could say middle class African American female. You could say middle aged African American female. You all different kinds of intersections, the different things. Um, One thing I wanted to look at is a former student that I had, and I taught her uh, so many years ago in the 90s. And she was what you might call working class. So I think her mother cleaned houses, and her family, she was Latino, and they were Christian. So, probably Catholic, but you do see some Baptists. I did go to 15 años for one of my students at the time, and she was Baptist, I believe, but definitely Christian. And I bring that up because this young lady also came out to me as being a lesbian. Um, I didn't think anything of it, but I wasn't thinking of her culture. Her mother had a problem with it. And the reason why she had a problem with it was because of the religion. Um, so there was some clashing, there were some issues there, and some psychological issues, and so on and so forth. And she was very depressed, and I mean, there were some other things, some overeating, skipping school. So she was at risk. I mean, so you had a lot of problems caused by these demographics, and which led to the social inequality that we're talking about, because her getting through high school was a struggle. Um, so these are some of the things that we think about when we're talking about people in society in a sociological case study. Um, how does it affect the person's life? Well, her religion that she was raised with was in direct conflict with who she was as a person and as a young woman, and caused familial problems. And they already had financial issues and things of that nature. So you have a lot of issues surrounding these demographics that lead to the inequality that we speak of when we talk about it in society. Um, so I thought it would be a good case study. You all in class are going to be reading about Latinos in our culture and the rise of the Latino population in America, and the how that impacts the country, and also how it impacts the people. Because if you have more people, more population means more power, and that would be political power, economic power, and so forth. The challenges of that culture would be education. Um, I've had a lot of students who they're not allowed to come to school. They have to go work with their parents, either on a crew or cleaning houses or what have you. That sounds like a stereotype, but those are true experiences of I've had with students telling me, "Hey, I couldn't come to class." Um, on the flip side, you have when I taught in Texas, you had a lot of Latinos that were very fluent. So it really depends on people, their time in this country. You can't always assume somebody is a certain way. Um, and it depends on their economic level, it depends on their education level, and it depends on their family values. Um, if your family value is work first, then that's what's going to happen. And in the case of some of my students, they had to forego their education in order to help the family have money to support themselves. So these are some of the aspects of people in society and how the different demographics lead to inequality in our culture. So I just want to touch on that before you have your assignment, just so you have a basis for what we're going to be talking about. Thank you.